with a sore throat, a little bit of an earache.
Doctors say this symptom is being reported by more and more patients, many of them thinking it's just an earache, but it turns out they have COVID.
Families have seen earache associated with this and with the alpha variant.
Dr. Nicole Frauman is the medical director for TGH Urgent Care powered by Fast Track. She tells us as the virus is changing, so are the symptoms, with earaches becoming more prevalent as patients test positive.
The reason why we're seeing earaches more often with the Delta variant is because sore throat is so prominent, and usually the earache is coming from the sore throat.
Dr. Frauman points out, while earaches are a symptom of COVID, they're not the only symptom. What do you make of this?
Yeah, we sometimes see an earache, but not usually as an isolated symptom. It's usually associated with other symptoms, especially sore throat.
According to this longtime physician, the pandemic shows no signs of slowing, especially with these new emerging variants.
Dr. Joel Bernanke explains why coronavirus doesn't infect you through your ears. The outer ear and the ear canal are not mucous membranes. The outer ear blocks germs, such as viruses and bacteria, from getting inside the ear. Dr. Bernanke also stated earwax acts as a physical barrier because of its germ killer chemicals. The tympanic membrane, better known as the eardrum, also creates a barrier behind the eardrum, between the outer ear and
learning is that like all other organ systems, COVID can affect the inner ear. And we're actually seeing little tiny bits of viruses in people who have had COVID.
LSU Health's Dr. Moises A Arriaga cares for patients with hearing and balance disorders, and he says symptoms of COVID ear vary.
We're seeing people who have had hearing loss related to COVID. We're seeing people who have ringing in the ears after they've had COVID. And we're seeing people who have ongoing dizzy problems.
Eye problems are usually the first sign you've been infected.
Speaking to people all over the country who got the COVID vaccine and shortly afterward are now reporting ringing in their ears, known as tinnitus.
Every shot in the arm could prevent a potentially deadly virus. 200 million Americans have already rolled up their sleeves for the COVID-19 vaccine. Afterward, something weird happened to thousands of people who got vaccinated. Their ears started ringing, or the ringing got worse, a condition known as tinnitus.
It was louder than the car radio while I was driving, and it stayed like that for 3 months.
Robert Edmonds said it started after his first dose of Moderna in January, but he did not make the connection at first.
An MRI, I've had a CT, we've have lots of different blood work, so
you can't find any other cause.
We can't find any other cause.
The CDC and FDA say it's rare for anyone to have more than mild side effects, and they say there's no causal connection between the vaccine and tinnitus. But other post-vaccine tinnitus sufferers say what they're experiencing is very real.
Having hearing loss and tinnitus is terrible. It's affected every aspect of my life.
A little while after, I ended up with so many symptoms: dizziness, head pressure, screaming tinnitus, like a 7 out of 10.
It was frustrating when I first realized what was going on because it was hard to find anything about it. I felt like it was being silenced, pun completely intended.
So what's happening here? Tonight at 6, the ABC 15 investigators dig deeper into the data. We turn to local audiologists, leading experts in vaccine, the federal government, and the vaccine makers themselves. We're asking for total transparency about this vaccine because people say they're suffering and they're being ignored. Again, that's tonight at 6. I'm investigator Melissa Blasius.